What's up guys, Craig Hawks here. Thank you so much for coming through to the channel for yet another video. Good to see your faces here. So, today, my idea is to take my own headshot. I always find myself stuck behind the camera, and being behind the camera means I take everybody else's shots. So the easiest way to do this, and probably the best way to do this, would be to hire a photographer to take my shots for me. And it's not like I don't know photographers. I know really great photographers who could do this for me. But every now and then you wake up in the morning and you go, hey, I should do that today, which is kind of exactly what happened. And I just want to get maybe one or two usable shots that I could send through to my agent, use on Instagram, social media platforms, possibly put as my profile shot on any of those platforms, and just generally get out there. So, how do I do this? Well, I could do it off the camera that I'm talking to you on now and just remove a shot from the video. You know, I suppose if I hit a pose right there and then cut it out of the video in Premiere Pro, you can save that out from Premiere as a TIFF or JPEG and then edit that in Photoshop, and bang, there's a headshot for you. But I don't feel like that's quite the way to do it. So the way I've decided to do it is to bring my camera along. This is the camera I use for stills. This is my Nikon D7200. I have attached to it right now a Sigma 17-50 because this is an f2.8. f2.8 will give me a nice shallow depth of field and a great blurry background, which is exactly what I want for a headshot because I need to be the focal point. So I am going to set this camera up on a tripod and try and get myself a shot or two, and I'll take you guys through the process. Let's see what we get. Alright. I always think a tripod is very necessary for this type of thing. I'm not going to be able to control the camera myself with these two hands because I need to be in front of it. And I don't want it to look like a selfie when I take this shot, so I've set it up on a tripod. That's exactly where I want it to be. Nice and stable, away from my body, taking a picture of myself. How? How am I going to take a picture of myself when this is down there and I need to be in front of the camera and nobody else is here to help me? That's how. You can download an app for pretty much every single camera that there is. If you use Canon, you've got the Canon utility app. Nikon, there's the WMU, I think it is, a WMA, or they use SnapBridge on their modern cameras. These will allow you to control the camera from your cell phone, which means you can then turn this camera on yourself, hit the focus point on your screen, make sure that you're getting the composition that you want, the shot that you want, and you can set the self timer, click it, phone in your pocket, off you go. It should be as simple as that. Let's give it a go. Let's see what we get. So I have to say, I am quite surprised at how simple that actually was. I mean, to just be able to use your cell phone, and this is not even a new cell phone, this is my old school iPhone 5S because my Huawei broke on me. So I thought to myself, maybe I'd have a few troubles because the cell phone isn't so new, and you know, this might be a little more difficult than I thought, but it actually really isn't. I set that camera up, 5 minutes later, I was standing in front of it, the Nikon app open on my phone, composing my shot, taking a few snaps. I'd walk behind the camera, have a look to see how it came out. I had a couple of focusing issues, but that's only because it took me a moment to realize exactly what it is I needed to do on the app in order to get my focus right. So in order to get my focus on the app, I just needed to double tap the screen on my face. Bob's your uncle. There it was. I mean, I'm actually a little bit shocked that that's all it took. Sure, composing the shot could take a little bit longer. I found a really cool space. This place is really amazing. And I'm thrilled that I found it. And I'm going to go up and do a couple of shots on the bridge over the top. See if I can get something cool out there as well. I mean, this was a lucky find. And I went into the offices at the Ticket Pro Dome and politely asked if they would let me come out here and shoot. And it's amazing. But asking, and asking nicely, can get you. I mean, what's the worst answer you can get? No. So, might as well give it a shot. Glad I did, because this is showing me I can do things on my own whenever I need to. So, if you have your own Nikon, your own Canon, that allows you to connect to your phone via an app, you can absolutely shoot your own headshots. I mean, take a look at this. That's me. Right here, right now, using my cell phone and my Nikon D7200, the Sigma 17 to 50mm f2.8 lens, and nobody else around to help me out. It's absolutely doable. Then the rest comes down to you, Photoshop, and your edit. But seeing as though we're here, I might as well have a little bit of fun while I'm at it. Okay, so how did that go? I think that went just fine, actually. I think it was almost as easy as I said it was going to be. I'm really happy with what I got. I wanted to find something concrete because this is Johannesburg and it really is a concrete jungle. I wanted to do it in natural light because I didn't have anybody there to control the light, to hold a reflector, to do any of that. And because South Africa has something going on called load shedding, so we don't have lights at all at the moment. For at least 4 hours a day, the power gets turned off. So, should you take your own headshots? Maybe. Is it always better to hire a professional? Of course. So you don't have to focus on anything else. You can be in front of the camera and just focus on how you look, getting across the emotion, the feeling that you want in the photograph. They can worry about the composition of the shot and help get you into the right position, help you get a pose and get this right for you. It's always easier when you work alongside a professional. But if you're in a pinch and times are tough, your wallet is feeling a little flaccid, I totally think you can take your own headshots. I did it on a DSLR, so if you have one of those, that is the way to go. You know, the sensor is made for this. It's made for quality. You know, using an f2.8 lens, I got great shallow depth of field. I mean, have a look at this shot. You can see there that I'm in focus and the background starts to blur, which is beautiful because it keeps me as the focal point of the photograph, which is exactly what you want out of a headshot. You don't want a headshot that requires a massive amount of Photoshop so that you don't look like yourself, because then the client isn't going to get what they get when you arrive there on the day. And you don't want something that's so crazy busy in the background that you are no longer the point of focus. I mean, you are the reason for the photograph, so let's make you the focal point. I literally went out there with my Nikon D7200, my cell phone, my tripod. What I did was connect my cell phone to my camera via the app, compose my shots with me standing in front of the camera. That required a few odd little poses every now and then, but I'm pretty stoked with what happened. I think I got everything right, and I got some pretty cool shots out of it. Shots that I think I will be sending to my agent, because I think I'd like him to use them. And shots that I will definitely be using on my social media and for portfolio shots. So that worked out pretty well. I really appreciate those smiling faces staring back at me right now, and thank you for sticking around. See you in the next one.